Hello, my friend, wherever you are. I'm sending you love, the power of positivity, and there's no vitamin D outside, but I will be your vitamin D. We are currently in Mexico City and is overcasting right now, but we are inside. Oh, duh. So my friend, welcome to the Gazillionaires Club. I got here yesterday from Costa Rica and then we are here. So I went grocery shopping this morning and because I have been at the other place for 3 months, so I had down my routines and working out and stuff like that, eating right. And when I got here, things were a little bit different. So I kind of have to get used. Like the first couple of days, I would have to adjust. But when I was back in Costa Rica, boom, 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 I was working out 4 to 5 days a week. But I'm keeping and maintaining in shape. And I asked around, but I found a couple of parks, in the area. So I will maintain the habits and traveling around and trying to maintain a habit is hard, but it's doable as long as you commit it.
Don't smoke crack every day.
So today we will be discussing about Bitcoin. I know it's been a while. I mean, I prefer to talk about Bitcoin than, inflation, or at least people tell us, the Fed, telling us that they want to tame inflation, but the government is spending out of control. And we know that these people are lying over and over and over. And the sad part is that people are still listening and people base their investment on it, So the way that I see it, Bitcoin is hovering around 19,000 right now, and a lot of channels, a lot of people, based on the macro economy, people are predicting or even looking at charts. Most likely it's going to fall down to the 12 or the 13,000 range, and people like Jay Bravo and that one, the guy from Kitco, he predicted that Bitcoin would fall to 20K, and people gave him a bunch of heat for it. Oh my God! But maybe when I do, I know his name, but it doesn't come to mind right now. But a few people, they were saying that Bitcoin could crash down to 3,500. And the way that I see it, Bitcoin is not even it's in the billions, but let's just say that we're not even in the trillion, okay? I'm rounding it there. I think it's like five or 600 something billion, I'm not sure. But the way I look at it, when we compare everything like the crypto or Bitcoin, let's just talk about Bitcoin, because at this point, after everything that happened, if you go into invest in long term, invest in Bitcoin. So for the longest time, like a lot of people were talking about the gold bugs, were like, you should buy gold, right? And it makes sense to prepare for this final moment, the collapse of everything, which is the dollar, because everything is based on the dollar. What happened when the dollar collapses? Kind of like Luna, right? When it crashed, everything went down with it. Now people are, I don't blame traders. They do what they do. They don't care. As long as there's money to be made, I get it. but then at the same time, trading also bring liquidity to the Bitcoin market. So whatever, we'll put the traders aside. But for a regular person, with Bitcoin, the market, it's so small. Like gold is roughly about 10 to 11 trillion. The debt market is like in the 300. What else? The bond market. I don't know, but it's in the hundred of trillion.
Con, do you even know what you were talking about?
And when, let's just say that the bond market implode, that money gotta go somewhere. And let's just say that the Fed keep on tightening the money, right? It meaning no money is gonna go into any kind of market, well, except for their bond markets, where they just do it behind the scene. They have a trading desk. I mean, when we look at currencies, from the British pounds, the yen, the Chinese yuan, everything is fallen. The US dollar is fallen. But the reason why we don't see it that way is because we compare it to other currencies. Now, I don't know where you stand, my friend, but I've said this over and over, that if they stop printing, right now they're stopped printing, but behind closed door, they are still buying up, like bonds, because if they don't, it will collapse. But they can only do that for so long. If they just print money behind closed door without letting, like, people can see the crime that they are committing. But if they pump it back into the stock market and stuff like that, it means that crypto and everything will go up with it. But I wouldn't count on it. The way that I see it, there is going to be a point where they have to pivot, and money is going to be pumped back into the stock market and the crypto market. And I mean, I don't hope for that to happen. I don't hope for Bitcoin to go up in price because of what the Fed are doing. It means that Bitcoin still rely on the Fed, on the money printing. And at this point, I do think that they're gonna print until people start shifting their mind about the US dollar. Because if we keep hoping and praying that they pump more money into the system, it means that the dollar is still going to be around. Yes, and I know it will take time to, for people to change their mindset to go into a new currency. But Bitcoin is so great. It's so great in a way where, it's like perfect money.
老粉友谊，sin wa sin sa Bitcoin 我爱你。
And I guess right now we are still playing, that musical chair, or where you run around, and then when the music stops, you gotta sit down. If you don't have a chair, so my friend, wherever you stand, that is what I think. I mean, eventually, money will, it travels, and it's gonna go. It is going to find a place where it's best fit for people. But it's also depends on you. Like, where are you investing your money? Where are you? Where are you seeing money of the future, instead of relying on the dying dollar? And the reason why I call it the dying dollar, simply because it is dying. But if we keep putting our wealth in it, and you know, when and because we can buy assets with the dollar, we are also supporting the dollar as well. And we know that the dollar is not part of America, okay? We know that the Federal Reserve is not part of America. These are private entity. They are part of the banking system, and the banking system does not care about anybody but themselves. And it doesn't matter, like in my opinion, you know, like Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, all like came out and said that we're gonna have the biggest crash. Okay, thanks for the warning. But remember, they manipulated the gold market. They banned the account of General Flynn, and they reinstated and then Kanye. But you know, those are signs that you can tell that they're self-interest. You know, they're in it for themselves. They're not for other people. Bitcoin, if you pay attention to the Bitcoin maximalists, okay, you can say that they're toxic. But when you look at the crypto space, you understand why they're toxic. But the thing is, other than the toxicity, put that aside. Think why Bitcoin was created and the message behind every Bitcoiner.
Don't compare me to the mother bum over there. It's like apple and oranges, peaches or plum pear. A banana pussy cut up and grow a pear, but I swear.
If you understand that, my friend, there's nothing to be worried about. And remember, before you invest, make sure that you know you have down your liability or liabilities and asset. Because if you don't have any money and you invest when Bitcoin falls and it forces you to sell, or when you leverage, you know, even collateral loans, right? I went through the collateral loans process, and I can tell you right now, my friend, don't leverage, don't collateralize a loan, simply because it's volatile, and own it outright. Because you know, if you have your liabilities settled, understood, it means that you have money. And if you have money, just transfer it, you know, into an asset that you think is going to be the future. Okay, now nothing I say or nothing I've said on this channel is a financial advice. Don't ever take advice from a broke person. But that's just what I see. And have a great day. I will see you in the next video, and most likely we will shoot video in this environment for the next couple of days, or even until you know, half a month to a month, because I gotta go out and buy my other headphones. I lost 2 headphones, so it's kind of hard to do video recording, you know, outside without the original headphones. So my friend, much love. I will see you in the next video. Use the hashtag Zillionaires Club, and let's have this conversation going. Are you holding onto the dollar because you think that all assets is going to crash and you are going to buy back those assets with the dollar? Or are you ahead of the game and you are prepping for the crash? Because the way that I see it, nobody knows what is really going on, but it's better to be prepared than take a chance and gamble for that. And what I mean by that is holding onto the dollar and buying back those assets because you assumed that it's gonna go low. And remember, everything is crashing right now. Think of the dollar is similar to the Luna situation, okay? And one day, my friend, I truly hope the future is not based on the dollar, but in Satoshi. So much love. Ta-da.